Welcome back to Life with Us TV. It's your girl, Lynette.
And it's your boy, Stanley.
All right, in this video, we're going to keep it real as we always do. Y'all come to our channel because you value our opinion for some strange reason. But we are going to talk about Virgin Voyages, and is it really the almost all-inclusive cruise experience? We're going to talk about the inclusions, and we're also going to show you how Virgin Voyages stacks up against some of the other major players in the game.
Yeah.
Carnival, Royal Caribbean, you ready to get into it? Lego.
All right, so we're going to start off by talking about, we just actually came off a Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady.
Sure did.
So we're going to give you the true cost of actually what we paid for that cruise. And we actually ended up, the base fare was $2,800. And then after we added all the extras, it ended up coming to be $3,489 for the cruise. So we ended up spending like $689 in additions. Now, most people be like, well, maybe you didn't have to do the additions. Now, for us, we add additions because we know that they make our cruise that much better.
Right.
So let's break down the extras that we actually added into the cruise.
Yes.
So on here, so I won't forget, so I can tell you the base fare was $2,800. So we end up paying $200 for gratuities. So just in case that you do not know, Virgin Voyages used to lump the gratuities into the price,
right?
But they decided to separate them, and the CEO said they're trying to be more transparent with their gratuities. But actually, we also believe they're also doing it so that pricing can be competitive in the cruise market, right? So either $200 for gratuities. We did not have travel insurance because we actually have an annual travel insurance that we pay $188 for a year. So we didn't have to pay for that because we already had that paid. We paid $120 for the internet. You like, wait, hold up. I thought that Virgin's internet was free and included. Yes, it is. Their classic internet package is included in the price.
Yes.
But we normally upgrade because classic don't work for us.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, classic it used to, but it is really slow now. We've tried it on several sailors to make sure that it was true. Premium is basically the way to go. So if you're looking to be online, want to stream, y'all want to watch YouTube and all that kind of stuff, yeah, you're going to be frustrated with classic trying to do that.
Yeah, and my recommendation is to go ahead and book it pre-voyage because it's much cheaper. You can get 2 devices for, what was that price? $180? $120?
Yeah, like $180
something like that.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah, do it pre-voyage because once you get on board, I'm not going to say it's double, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, everything's always more money when you get on board.
Yeah.
So the next thing we added to it was the bar tab, which was $300. And the Queen actually did a spa day, and that was $69. So that was the extra $689 that actually brought the cruise up to $3,489.
Yes. All right. So what we were talking about earlier is that we're going to start to give you some comparisons and show you the comparable sailings that went to the same destination around the same time of year, just on a different cruise line, to show you if you would add in those things that Virgin Voyages includes in their fare. We're also going to show you what that base fare is so that you can do a real price comparison based on the fact that Virgin Voyages has their Wi-Fi included. All of their dining is specialty dining quality in their restaurants. Indeed. Their basic beverages are included. That means your water, your soda, your juices, basic flat teas and coffees. Those things are included. Of course, they have some other things that are included. We're not going to go that deep with it, but the basics. Basics. So for Carnival, we found a sailing in a sea terrace balcony, which would be $19.98 for 2 people on Carnival Cruise Line, and this was on Carnival Vista.
Yeah.
Once you added the travel insurance onto it, the gratuities, the Wi-Fi, and just one specialty dining. So we're not going to even go crazy with it.
Yeah, just one.
And the drink package, because unlike Virgin Voyages, traditional cruising makes each adult in the cabin pay for the drink package for both for the duration of the sailing. This came up to $3,634. We're like $50 of what Virgin Voyages charges for a comparable sailing. See what I'm saying?
Right. And I don't think you mentioned this, that this is for like a 5-day.
Oh, yeah, it's 5 days.
Yeah, this is a 5-day.
Yeah. So recently we have been doing these videos showing you real cost comparison and what we pay for cruises, because some people only see, I paid $1,998 for my cruise. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. At a minimum, most people are going to add gratuities onto it. At a minimum, in this day and age, most people are going to add Wi-Fi. If you don't do that, you're doing something else. Your thing may not be my thing, and my thing may not be your thing.
Right.
But for people to get on a cruise and spend 0 additions, it's almost
not
unrealistic.
necessarily impossible, but
it's not impossible, but
Right.
it's usually unrealistic, because this is the time people want to enjoy themselves, splurge,
Right.
You know, do the things that they don't usually do at home.
Right.
All right, so the next one is Royal Caribbean. So I said, let me go on and find a older ship so that we can do a cross comparison with that to see what that is, because we do know that Royal Caribbean can be a little bit more expensive than your Carnivals and your Virgin Voyages. So we did Rhapsody of the Seas.
Yeah.
That Rhapsody of the Seas. I said, wow, that's a name.
Yeah.
So base fare, double occupancy, and a balcony cabin, $2,038.06.
Yeah, man.
So we're just a little bit above what the Carnival price would be. Once you add the travel insurance, gratuities, Wi-Fi, one specialty dining, and the drink package, we are at $3,766 and 36 cents. I would say that Virgin Voyages is right on target.
Yeah. And she was comparing that against what we just paid, we just went on. But we also did the price of what Virgin was going to be around the same time as these. And Virgin was $3,694. So you can see $3,694 for Virgin, $3,634 for Carnival, and $3,766 for Royal. But here's the thing, Virgin is newer than those ships.
Yes.
And you don't get the kids.
And you don't get unlimited access to specialty dining restaurants.
Bingo.
Specialty dining quality restaurants.
Yes. So we wanted to give y'all that so you can actually see like the differences and be able to see the value. Because I know you getting ready trying to decide, should I do Carnival, Royal, Virgin, or any of the other ones. So
do them all.
Yeah, do them all. That's what we do.
That's what we do. We do them all.
All right, so let's move on to the gratuities. Because like we told you, that Virgin actually changes the way they do gratuities. So actually, once you go through the check-in, they actually have like 3 different options now for you to choose. Base, essentials,
and premium.
But once you get to the other side, it's going to ask you if you want to add prepaid gratuities. If that's what you want to do, please do that, because it's going to cost you $20 per day, per night, per person.
But what?
Did I say that too fast?
Yeah, because you added 2 gratuities on them a day.
It's $20 per person per day. Yes.
Stanley said per person, per day, per night.
Right.
You got a morning gratuity and a night gratuity fooling with Stanley.
But however, just like your traditional cruise lines, if you don't pay it, they're going to actually do $22 per day per person. Added to your folio, because Virgin has what they call a folio, and they're going to charge it there at the end of the cruise, just like everybody else does.
Yep, and then you have to stand in line like everybody else if you want to take it off. Yeah. My suggestion is just go ahead and let it happen. All right, so let's talk about what else is included. Specialty dining quality restaurants. Now, Virgin does do this trip on numbers. I will say that it's like a... Once, if you read it in fine print, you're like, they have over 20 restaurants on board. No, they have 20 eateries on board, which basically means that the galley can count as one. Noodle around, which is a noodle bar, could be considered one. Taco, that's one. Yeah. The quick grabs, that's another one. Each restaurant counts as one. So you see where I'm going here. So on paper, it's like, whoa. you get on board and it's like, where the hell is all these eateries?
Right.
But let's just talk about that. So what do they have included in your fare? Basically everything. Now,
Everything, yeah.
I will say that in the different restaurants, there is always an opportunity to do an upgraded experience. What do I mean? In the steakhouse, you can get a seafood tower.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not going to be included in your fare. Also, if you want in the steakhouse, get a upgraded steak like a tomahawk. That's going to be more money.
Yeah.
So in each restaurant, there is an opportunity for you to add like cocktails that pair with each entree,
which is dope.
appetizer. Of course, that's going to be an additional cost.
Right.
But for the most part, all of the things that you have seen, heard, and seen that we love, we have never sat in any of those restaurants and paid a dime extra.
Nah, because we'd be like, what's on the menu been great.
Yeah, it's been great.
We never had to upgrade. We thought about it.
We didn't think about it.
But we didn't. But I love, like when you said earlier, that we can go to all of these specialty dinings like Pink Agave, Gumby, The Wait, Razzle Dazzle, Extra Version.
Lucky Lotus.
So you can go to 5 specialty restaurants and don't have to pay a dime extra.
Nope.
But I forgot to mention at Gratuities, and this is so important because I love when the CEO said you pay to get on version, but you do not pay to get off. In other words, they do not add gratuities to everything. So once you pay that prepaid gratuity, that's
done.
it. It's done. So when you get your drinks from the bar, they're not gonna add no extra gratuity to it. So that's a game changer right there. That's you saving 18% right there.
Per pop.
Right. On your drinks. So you know if you really are a drinker, you know that 18% can add up, man.
Can add up really quickly.
Yeah, so I do love that version actually have that, and the food is good.
Yes.
It isn't perfect all the time, but
No.
for across the board, we can say that version Voyages food is good.
Very good.
Yeah.
I think the only cruise line that we have had an experience with that top version for us is Celebrity.
Yes.
Celebrity's food.
Yes.
Yep, Virgin is right there.
And I can't even believe we saying that.
Yeah.
Because it took a long time to get there.
Yeah. So let's rate it. Celebrity.
Uh-huh.
Virgin. Royal Caribbean. Carnival.
Yeah.
Hold on. MSC might be over top of Carnival.
Or NCL. Because the food on NCL was really good too.
Oh, I forgot all about NCL. Okay, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Cut.
So it'd be Celebrity.
Virgin.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna say NCL.
I'm gonna say NCL.
And then Royal.
Royal.
Uh-huh.
MSC. Carnival.
Yeah.
That's our order.
But however, I would say this that because MSC food sometimes can be trash. So sometimes it can go like this.
So this was based on our latest experience.
Yeah, right.
Our first experience, we starved.
Man. And what we did eat was trash. Yeah. But anyway.
Except for the ham sandwich.
So let's dive a little bit more into this internet so you can understand the cost of the internet. So like we said, they do have the classic that is free. But however, I hope that when you get on your cell and that the classic will be a blessing to you so you don't have to upgrade. But if you do upgrade so you can understand the price that you would pay on the sailing. So the price is gonna be based upon the number of days of the sailing. So if you want to do the math, so the premium Wi-Fi is actually $25 per day per person, but that actually give that to you on 2 devices.
Yeah,
and for us, it's really a blessing because we get to be on our cell phone, and then because we work at sea sometimes. Shameless plug. We are traveling nomads. We travel full time for a living. This was our dream that came true, and we are loving every minute of it.
That part.
All right. So then they actually have a plan what they call work at sea. Now, this plan is a lot more expensive. So I would say if you're a person that you're not.
Smooth like butter.
Yeah. Speed is everything.
Yes.
Yeah. So we actually had that earlier on this year.
Yeah, we were blessed with it with the on the top 100 sailing. It was the first time I had it, and I'm like, do I need to splurge and get this every time?
So you're looking at the work at sea is $55 per day per person.
Expensive.
Yeah, so it's up there. But I think that's still kind of comparable to what you would pay for regular internet on Carnival and Royal. Because those internet
Royal.
prices. Yeah, especially Royal.
Royal isn't that expensive, but it gives you Royal Starlink quality.
Right.
If that makes sense to anybody that sell Royal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Royal has the best internet. Wi-Fi at sea.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Yeah, I totally 100% agree.
Not a glitch, not a hiccup, not a woo-hoo, nothing. All right, so this is where I feel that Virgin Voyages is the shining star.
Yeah, man.
Nobody really can top them in this area. It's two areas you can't top them in. It is the fact that their specialty dining quality restaurants are included. And then this next one is the bar tab. At first, it took people a very long time to figure out or to understand this.
Yeah.
And as a travel advisor, I would have people that just couldn't wrap their head around it.
Right.
And the way that I explain it to them, and I say, do you drink? Of course, if you ask me about the bar tab, you drink.
Do you drink? Right.
I said, have you ever gone to your local bar and just sat there and you be like, okay, I want to down one or two drinks. And they'll ask you, do you want to open up a bar tab? And they were like, yeah. I said, what do you do? Say you give them your card, right?
Yep.
I said, think about a bar tab being a prepaid, pre-approved amount on a card.
Yes.
That you've already paid for, and you're just sitting at the bar or walking around the ship, and you're taking and subtracting from this prepaid tab that you opened up prior to your sailing.
Yes.
That's literally what it is. And the beauty about a bar tab is me and him are in a cabin together. I am not forced to buy a bar tab just because he bought one.
Right.
And here's the thing. What we do is because it saves us so much money, because we buy these these drink packages on cruises, 1 for convenience.
Yes.
2 for convenience. And 3 for these kind of videos, because we need to be able to do real price comparisons.
Right.
And again, convenience.
Yeah.
And then when we're with our friends, we really do it.
Yeah, because that's when we really go
That's when we need it, when we're with our friends.
Uh-huh.
But I love that we can share a bar tab.
Yeah.
On Virgin Voyages.
That's the game changer right there.
We usually do a $300 bar tab. That's for one of us. We share it. And all is well with the world, because here's what Virgin Voyages does. If you buy it pre-voyage, you can also do it on day 1 of the cruise. I would suggest, if you really want to buy the bar tab, just do it pre-voyage, because it's going to take you out of your realm. Right. You're going to have to stand in a line, pull your credit card out, buy it. It's just too much. You can do that at the comfort of your home, right?
Right.
But if you buy a $200 bar tab, they will give you a $25
credit.
Bonus credit.
Now, that's a game changer right there, because none of the other cruise line, when you buy the drink package, they don't give you nothing extra.
They're going to give you a add-on for the 18% gratuity.
That's right. Okay, Carnival cut you off at 15. Yeah,
there is no gratuity added on to the bar tab.
Nope. No.
$200, you pay $200.
That's it.
So that $300 bar tab, they give you an extra $50 to spend.
Yeah.
$500, they give you $100. $750, they give you $175.
Yep.
$1,000, they give you $250.
That's game changer.
That's a freaking game changer.
Yeah.
And for us, because we host group trips, what we do is when we usually are hosting a group trip, we'll buy a $750 one because we're getting $175 credit.
Yep.
And what we do is we bless the people that's in our group.
We buy Moet.
We buy Moet bottles and shots for people and drinks.
Man.
If we here is your birthday, your anniversary, we're blessing you with drinks and whatever. We don't save $175 by just,
Yep. That's a game changer.
It's a game changer.
And just in case, if you want to try to do the math on that, because a lot of people do come up to me and you and be like, how much bar tab should I get?
They do.
So we used to say 300.
But it's a little high.
But the drinks that went up. The average drinks now, they used to be around like 10 to 12. Now the average drink is about $15.
Yeah.
So if you a person that that you go through 15 drinks from like Carnival drink package,
I hope you don't.
You're gonna want to probably be somewhere in the neighborhood around the 500 to the 1,000 round. All depends on the price of what kind of drinks that you like to drink.
But I would say a moderate drinker, you're on vacation, sip, da 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 da. Comfortably, I would say 300. But if you feel like, oh, I'm gonna go in a little bit on certain days, not so many, 500 will probably be that like perfect sweet spot. But just because of the price of the drinks now, and that's if you're sharing a room. Like if you're sharing a bar tab, if you're by yourself, 200 is probably gonna do it for you.
Yeah,
300 will probably do it for you.
All right. So the next thing, true cost on Virgin, of course, we talked about that we don't pay for travel insurance because we pay for our annual insurance. Let me tell you the power of that. Now that $188 that we pay per year covers all of our cruises. So we took 13 cruises in 2025. Yes, 13 of them. So when I divided that by the 13, that was actually like $14 to $15.
Wow.
Per cruise for coverage. And it don't just cover the cruise, it covers the whole aspect of the cruise.
Flights, luggage,
all that.
Equipment. We travel with the equipment. We have done so many claims that I'm like, they're gonna drop me. They're gonna drop me.
Yeah, and we like to say this, ain't trying to sell you annual plan, but we say it makes sense because you spend so much in going through the cruise lines and spending for travel insurance. So let me give you some examples. Like for instance, on Virgin, you're gonna pay like for a 2,000 cruise, it's gonna be somewhere around $150, $2,500 around about $200, and then $3,500 cruise around $289. So you can already see just one cruise compared to $188, and that's just one trip. You there.
You're there.
So we like to say, go back, check how much you done spent in cruise travel insurance. Check your 2025, or if you done some in 2026. Right. Do the math. So we like to say if you cruising more than 2 to 3 times a year, you might want to consider getting that annual plan. And actually, if you actually need help with that, shameless plug again down in the description, we actually have a link, and Lynette will show, or you can submit the form, and
I'll send you a quote.
Right. So it's gonna be, like we said, it's $94 per person for adults, and
not for New Yorkers in Hawaii.
Yes, thank you. And then for kids, it's actually $64, and that's gonna be over on the website. You'll be able to see that. So if you see that you've been spending more than $188 a year in travel insurance,
you may want to consider it.
The annual insurance actually makes sense, and the thing about it is travel insured that we use, and they pay out. We done had to use them. We actually had to get refunded thousands of dollars last year for trip interruptions and for the Queen Queen getting sick on our Greece trip. We were just recently also, not just talking about me and you, we were just recently on when we was on Scarlet Lady, the same trip.
This same trip.
Yep. So some of the cruise cousins came with us, and one of the cruise cousins ended up having a medical emergency, had to go to the doctor, had to go to the medic, and it was $2,200. Way more than what they spent for the cruise. Way more. So I thank God that they had travel insurance. So we like to say also, even if you do have travel insurance, they make you pay up front and you get reimbursed. So you definitely want to calculate that into the cost. I mean, of course, you won't know how much it's going to cost.
But have you a card available?
Yes, have you a credit card.
But with some limit to it.
Yes.
Well, with a big limit available. Big limit.
Yes.
Because sometimes you don't know.
Right.
And one thing, and this is a plug that I do want to insert, just because out of experience, you would think that in foreign countries that they would take any type of card. No. American Express, especially in European countries, will not accept your American Express card for payment in most places, including hospitals.
Yep.
Let me say that for the people in the back, because most of us that travel a lot, that is our preferred card, because we get so many points, many perks.
Yep.
You know, the free bags on your flights and whatnot. And that's the card we travel with, because it's not even a travel card. It's basically a line of credit.
Right.
No, they won't they won't take that.
Yeah, they say, I am not going to pay the fees for that Amex. That's what they say.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
So Visa and Master works perfectly over there. But if you need help with your Virgin Voyages cruise, my link is down below. I would love to have you in the Life With Us TV Code Fund Travel family.
Yeah, man.
Guess what? I know what I'm talking about. In some days. All right, another thing we wanted to talk about, just breezing over it because this really has no bearing on like the comparison of a Virgin Voyages and anybody else.
Yeah, just can raise your costs.
But it can raise your costs significantly.
Yeah.
Because we're one of those people that we say, if you've never been to a destination before, do something in that destination because when are you ever going to come back there? If you're just the average traveler that travels 1 to 2 times a year, I'm pretty sure you're not going to the same destination you just came back from.
Right.
So do something in that destination so that you will have those long-lasting memories. But an excursion, or what Virgin calls it, a shore thing, they can cost you at least $150 per person, depending on what it is. Yeah. Now, if it's something that's very low impact, like a tour or something like that, you can get those for maybe $45 or $55 per person. But if you want to do anything that has a little bit of an adrenaline rush, we up there. We up there at $100 or $150 per person. The one thing I will say about Virgin is you have to keep in mind, Virgin is known to keep a very good environmental footprint.
Yes.
So what they're not going to do is have a whole bunch of excursions that is going to go against their plan, against what they believe in. So you're not going to see swimming with the dolphins. You're not going to see a lot of the things that other cruise lines.
No snorkeling and all that.
No, you will see snorkeling.
Oh, snorkeling? Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just keep that in mind when it comes to Virgin Voyages. A lot of people do tend to go outside because they do want to do those things. I will leave my link below for Viator so that you can check out some of those as well.
Right.
When it comes to them.
All right. So the next thing we want to talk about, because this cost is overlooked not only on Virgin, but it's overlooked, I feel like, on a lot of cruise lines. Like the Queen was saying earlier, people will quote you the base price, but they won't tell you how much they spent in the casino. They won't tell you how much they spent at the spa, getting their hair done. None of that kind of stuff.
All them Shein packages, Amazon that came to that house.
Yeah. So Virgin definitely have a lot of good stuff that you can upsell. Like they have like paint and sip, shots for shots, grog walk, which is the bar crawl. They have Lotteria, which is Mexican bingo that you take a bunch of shots and drink some cocktails and be tore from the floor up by the time you get out of there. But it's those things that's going to show up on the app that's going to tempt you to spend money to enhance your experience. So we want you definitely be aware of that if you because that definitely can, if you want a budget, that definitely can raise that budget up quickly.
All right, the next thing that we're going to talk about, and this is one of the ones that I feel like most people omit from the conversation when we talk about the true cost of traveling.
Yes.
You have to get there.
Yes.
Whether you drive your own car, whether you take a plane, train, if you scoot it over there, your hoverboard, I don't care.
It costs money.
Something don't cost you some money.
Right.
The cost of flights. People be like tripping about, I paid $200 on a casino deal. How you get there?
Right.
I live in Florida. Did you park at the port? Yeah. That's your cost.
Yes.
That's an added cost. Did you fly in? Yeah. Did you take an Uber? Yeah.
Yeah.
Added cost. Did you come in a day prior, which everybody should be coming in a day prior to their cruise? Pre-cruise hotel.
Yes.
Eating at that pre-cruise hotel.
Right, because you got to eat.
Getting to the cruise port from that pre-cruise hotel.
Yep, that's a cost.
This is cost. Did you pay for luggage to get on that flight? Because maybe you haven't met that merit point where you could get your bags for free. Extra freaking cost.
Extra cost.
Did you stop by CVS to get your 750 milliliter bottle of wine or champagne
that you can bring on?
So you can bring it on. Added freaking costs.
Yeah.
And people do not calculated in their true cost of traveling.
And in some cases, you can end up paying more in pre-cruise costs than the actual cruise itself.
We just did that.
We just did it.
We did it on. We had a casino deal on Royal Caribbean that we just wanted to get on the sailing to keep the momentum going, and I almost canceled it because by the time we started, some of it's my husband's fault. Not even gonna lie. Because he loves to do specialty dinings and this and that on sailings. And I'm like, bruh, this is not that kind of sailing. We on here trying to keep skit going and you trying to spend more money. But we spent more money on the additions than we did the actual sailing.
Hey, but you enjoyed them though, didn't you?
I enjoyed it, but it was so unnecessary.
That's all
it's so unnecessary.
But you enjoyed them though. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some ways that you can save on Virgin. And one of the things is water and soda.
Yes.
Definitely. So we know like on the other cruise lines, you can bring on your own sodas, your own 6-pack of sodas, which is cool, but that's an extra thing that you got to tote on. With Virgin, the sodas is included at the fountain. Then also water. Most time on cruise, not most time, all the time on other cruise lines, especially Carnival and Royal, you have to buy the water. Virgin,
well,
the
you
water.
don't have to buy it, but if you want it,
yeah.
If you want like bottled water, you have to pay for it.
You got to pay for that. With Virgin, the water, the still water, is included in the price, and not only is it included in the price, you can actually go on your tablet and press a button,
and they bring you some
they'll
more.
bring it right to your cabin and deliver it right to you, man.
Yep.
Another way you can save, of course, we talked about the Wi-Fi. That if you can stick out the classic because you really don't have to be on your phone. The Wi-Fi cost will actually save you money than other cruise lines. Also, the drink packets.
Yep.
You're going to pay way more on other cruise lines for the drink package.
Sure is.
So you definitely save there. Specialty dining, of course, you save there because you don't have to put out no extra money for that. Also, solos benefit because they actually have dedicated solo cabins. So that way you don't have to pay the extra money that double occupancy would actually have to pay, which I think is
amazing.
There
are very few cruise lines that's doing it, and Virgin is one, and NCL is another.
Yes, indeed. So if you have enjoyed this video, if you want to check out this video next, the true cost of a Royal Caribbean cruise, and we're going to see you in the next video. Peace.